Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayco JAYFLIGHT 284 BHS bunkhouse travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, besides your slide, I also want you to think about your power and water connections. Plenty of room for that slide to come in and out unimpeded, preferably nothing hanging over top of it. Then your water connection is going to be right behind that slide or behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. And your power is going to plug in back there in the rear of the unit. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing we're going to do is level your unit. Now you can get a stick-on level, find the center of your unit, put it on there and have someone watch it while you do this. You have a power tongue jack with a night docking light. Simply retract to lower, extend to raise. Now should you lose power, under this rubber stopper right here is a manual override for that hand crank. So you can get this up and down if you don't have power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts now and then, make sure those haven't wiggled loose going down the road. Once we've got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. 3/4 inch socket here. A hand crank. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. I just recommend you slow down when you get to the bottom, because all we're going to do is run these down until they're taut. Get you some jack pads, put them down on the ground. They're going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Better distribute the weight. It's a good investment. Grab 4 of them. Run these down just until you've got resistance on your hand crank. Remember, our unit's already level. We're just trying to stabilize it. Get all 4 of your stabilizing jacks down. We can go ahead and hook up our power and our water. Again, your power cord, big long 30 amp cord, plugs in the back of your unit. A pistol grip here. Once that's on, turn it to the right and then put your black washer on here. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need, we got a 30 to 15 amperage reducer in case you need to plug into a 110 somewhere. That's power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. All right, at the campsites, we will hook up back here behind your slide 2 city water connections. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting fluid in here. Hook that up, hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Come around here in the back will be your hot water heater. All we're going to do at this point, make sure our drain plug's back in. You may have left it out last time you were camping. Get that on there nice and snug. Plumber's tape around there would be nice, not putty. Putty will gum up. Once that's in there snug, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now, if you got that water running, I want you to go inside and deploy your slide so that you can go ahead and get to your water lines. Open up all of your water lines, get all the air out of the lines. Once you got a nice steady flow of water, you can shut them taps off. Then you know your hot water heater is full and you can turn that on from indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping, or boondocking as they call it. In that case, we will simply use our potable water. Freshwater tanks to the left of the entry doorway. No need for a water pressure regulator here, simply use a hose. Go inside and watch your panel. 2 ways to tell when this is full. 1, there's an overflow valve right here. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your tanks. your black and gray tank, there's also a freshwater button. Once you see this tank is full, you can go ahead and put that cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump with using city water that's already pressurized. Alright, we're all set up to camp with power and water. I'm going to go ahead and walk you around the unit, starting here on your campsite with your outdoor kitchen. If you got an awning with pitch control, hypothetically it's raining down at that end, hold on the pitch control and that's going to tilt your awning and run all the rainwater away. Continuing down your campsite, you got a couple of outdoor speakers. You got a hood vent for your microwave. It's a flue for your furnace. If you're running your furnace, steer clear of that, it will get hot. Make sure nothing's ever blocking it. Again, your fresh water. There's your low point drain. All set up for a TV out here. There's a clamp indoors that'll clamp on here as well as the bedroom. Cable in 110. Continuing down, here's the clamp for the TV. That'll clamp indoors and outdoors. You just put a TV on it. Pass-through storage. On the front, your propane does come with a regulator and a cover. Regulator simply pointed toward the tank you wish to be using and lefty-loosey to open. Come down off your off-camp side here. Your other pass-through storage. On your slide, you want to add to the longevity of the life of these wipers or seals. You want to keep them pliable. They actually have a spray that you can spray on those. Keeps them nice and flexible and keep them from dry rotting over time. And then coming on the back here is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. An outdoor shower, again city water connection. Here's your main low point drain. The other was for your fresh water. Here's where we'll dump our black and gray tanks. And back here's where you plug your cable in. Back again to the rear of the unit is your spare tire with a cover. You're all prepped for a Furrion backup camera. Again, your power and hot water heater. That about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside. So first thing I like to point out in every unit is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camped with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Continuing in, we're going to look right around the corner. Got some controls here. Interior and exterior lighting. Over here's where you check your levels of your brand new battery. Your fresh tank. That's one I said to hold down to tell when your potable water is full. Your black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using that potable water. Your water heater if you're using gas. Your water heater if you're using electricity. It does make a difference. On your awning, I just want to show you the top of your awning is gray, the bottom is white. You only want to run that out until that white flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see that brown bar. These will continue to run themselves out past that point and run themselves out backwards if you're not watching when you put them out, so keep an eye on them. You see that pitch control arm down there straightens itself out. You also have your slide control next to that. A couple of 110s underneath there. Awning in, we'll continue here. Side of your kitchen island is your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Now the reason I mention that's 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping or boondocking, nothing plugged in charging your battery, and you're going to be gone for the day, you disconnect one of your battery posts, keep this and run your battery down while you're gone. Continuing into the kitchen, you got a self-explanatory microwave, light and fan above your cooktop. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. Turn that from off to turns red. Spark down here for your gas. Same thing on the oven. Come down here to the end, set it to light, spark it here, and then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. And if you rock that panel light down, it becomes your oven light. Below your oven is your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. On your no-cold fridge, we'll turn that on here. So whatever's white is what you're controlling. For example, this is the freezer. We'd like to keep it 5. The fridge, you put it at 3. You can raise or lower that here. And this is a night mode, telling the fridge I'm not going to be opening and closing you as much. Save me some power, and it does so. Over here you've got your sound system. Indoors and outdoors. Probably not going to pick up much for channels indoors here. Bluetooth compatible AM FM auxiliary. Below that you will have your TV. Bunk area with its own lighting. One touch USB ports back there. Come back in your bathroom real quick. I mentioned you have a hand open power exhaust vent. 110 with GFCI reset. Plumbing to maintain. Just keep an eye on it. You are bouncing the house down the road. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. On the corner here is your thermostat. Crank the air up. There's your AC running. Shut your AC off. See, it shuts off rather quickly. Now when I go to the furnace, turn that on. Get that running. Now when I shut your furnace off, you'll notice it takes a few minutes for the furnace fan to cycle through before it shuts off. Over here you do have cup holder. This will jackknife down into a bed. Your table here will also wiggle off. Remove those legs. Put your table on these lips here. Put your back cushions on top for another sleeping area. Come back into our bunk. Here's another spot you can snap that TV onto. Cable in 110 there. That's a template for the techs if you ever decide to wire this thing for solar. It tells them where all the wiring is, so recommend keeping that on there. And lastly, in your bedroom, your underbed storage. On hydraulics, so it holds it up for you. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. First thing I like to do is shut off my interior lights, because then I can walk around and see all the individual lights I need to shut off. I'll walk through and do that. Alright, so I've walked through and shut off all of the lighting except for what can be controlled here by the doorway. I'm going to say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. Slide in. Notice the bottom comes in first. That's where the mechanism is. It'll straighten itself right out. See the importance of having these doors and drawers closed? Don't need to break things just because you're bringing your slide in. Hear that noise? That's okay to hear. That's just the slide mechanism telling itself not to come in any further. Does the same thing going out sometimes. Shut that off. Exit your unit first. You want to make sure this exterior door is all the way open, otherwise this could catch on it when you bring it in. Simply lift these up inside, lock that handle in, and before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt this door, lift and turn your handle. Now I say before you leave the dump station because you may want to go in there inside to check your panels while you're dumping. If we are out boondocking, right underneath our fresh water is our low point drain that'll dump our fresh water. If you're at a campsite, unhook your power, water cable and bring up all of your stabilizing jacks. Hook up your hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull our black handle. Now you can step inside again, check your panel, make sure the black tank is empty. Once it is empty, leave that handle open. Grab the hose at the dump station, again with your water pressure regulator, and hook it up here and let that tank flush. Turn that hose on for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all the nastiness out of your black tank. Again, making sure that black handle is open in full position. After about 5 minutes, go ahead and remove that hose. Make sure all that washout has drained. Then you can close that black handle. Then you can pull this gray handle. Now while the gray handle's dumping, I like to go ahead and pull my low point drains. When them low point drains are done, we come back here to my hot water heater. Lift up on this pressure release valve. That's going to dump the remainder of your hot water out of there. Make sure you push that handle back down or your door won't close. Then you can pull that drain plug. Come back over here, make sure your gray tank is emptied. Close that gray handle. Grab your sewage hose. Remember that gray water is cleaner water, sinks and showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. And then you can conveniently and sanitarily store your sewage hose right here in the bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this JAYFLIGHT for many years to come. Happy camping.